Let me fix this a little bit. One thing is difficult is to get this camera together. All right, what's up, YouTube land? Hey, it's your girl Jay Lovelii is back, and sometimes always in this up and down. Now I had 2 years of my life that was amazing. I don't know, this is going to be kind of more of a rant than anything because it's not going to be directly related to the topic today. But I have to admit that life has been lifing for me the last 2 years from 2022, really to begin. I'm gonna say mid 2022 until now, not the last 2 years. Did I say 2 years? The last year, I should say, has definitely been challenging for me. I'm going through a metamorphosis, so to speak, a new awareness, a new awakening period in my life, another dark night of the soul for my spiritual people who understand I'm going through that. And it's so up and down. And I asked God this year, I said, God, I want to restore my faith. And I didn't realize what that meant when I said that out loud. God, I want to restore my faith this year. I didn't realize that mean that God was going to take me through the trenches to test and see how far I believe in my abilities, in the creator's abilities, in the ability that I can get my shit together when my shit is not together anymore. So I'm going through a lot of different things at the same time. And what I'm noticing though is how calm I am, how I'm not allowing things to consistently, keyword is consistently, because I'm still affected. I don't ever want people to think that things happen to me and I never feel things or feel the disappointment or doubt or anything like that, because I feel all the things. But I'm calm. I don't have any other choice but to be calm because a lot of things that's going on are out of my control. The things that I can control, though, I am actively working and pursuing and doing things about it. So I said all that to say that when you guys see that I'm not as consistently posting, whether you follow me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, I'm everywhere, right? If you see that I might fall off for a week, if you see that I might not say anything for some days or extended up taking precedence over me making content for my different channels. I'm not a content creator also. I just happen to create content. Like, I'm not a content creator. I'm not here to be a content creator. I don't care about getting paid for my content. I know eventually one day I will, though, because growth is imminent. And also I know one day I will because I plan on servicing a lot of people in the world. That means a lot of people got to know me and they got to know my brand. Anyway, this is just me checking in, letting you guys know what's going on with me as far as life goes, as far as the motivational coach or no coach. I'm a human being, so I go through things just like everybody else. It's just that I have a lot of mental readiness, mental awareness. My mindset is a lot different than most people. Whereas when adversity comes my way, I don't shut down immediately. I'm Miss Fix It. So I implore you guys to become Mr. and Mrs. Fix It. Understanding there's always gonna be a problem. Problems are everywhere. They don't go away. You might trade one problem for another problem. You might trade a big problem for a small problem. You might trade a small problem for a big problem. Problems are problems. They're a part of life. It's how you look at them. What is your fight or flight response, right? And all of that goes back to your mental readiness, what happened to you as a child, and how you defend yourself when things are not going the way that you want them to go. This all became a part of you when you were younger. The first time you could recall an adverse thing that happened to you, your response or the response of others dictated how you moved. It conditioned you and dictated how you moved from that day forward whenever you were faced with adversity. How your parents handle adversity, how your grandparents, how your family in general, how you saw other people handle adversity has become your what's the word? Programming, right? Just say, let me say that, because computers were made to mimic the human mind. So I said all that to say, encourage yourself. No matter what stage you are in life right now, encourage yourself. Go out here and do your best. That's all you can do. You cannot. I moved through life with the notion that if I did my best at something, rather it showed up the way I wanted it to show up or not, that's all I could have done. Any bad relationship that ended, any job that ended, any phase of my life that I realized didn't work for me and I had to move away from, if I did my best, then I literally had no regrets, no problems with accepting it. When I knowingly that I didn't give a shit enough to try to do my best and it ended, that's when sometimes I might think that I have regrets, but I have to go through and I have to move through that, because regrets are not good. Regrets beget resentment. And resentment means that you wish you could change something that you have no power to do so. And that makes you feel powerless. And in turn, you go out here and you start doing weird shit. Like, you start um taking things out on other people, or not fully allowing yourself to understand the situation and take accountability. So anyway, that's just one part of today. I go in here, and since we live, I go in here. I really don't have plans when I come on here. I just be like, okay, this is what I'm gonna talk about today. And then the damn camera come on and I'm like, okay, I want to talk about something a little different first. So that's why I got into that. I wanted people to know like how we view adversity started when we were young, started from us watching other people, started from how we handled our first adverse thing in our life. The triggers, they don't come typically from adulthood. Don't get me wrong, you got some triggers that may be new to you because you might have went through something traumatic as an adult, but most of them come from when you were a child. What happened to you? What story did you tell yourself because of this occurrence? What belief did you have? Because the belief is nothing but the having the same thought over and over again. That's what a belief is. And just like you can choose to believe that you're not worthy or you're not capable or you don't have what it takes, whatever, you can choose to believe the opposite of that. It's all choice. And you can just think it over and over again, and then it becomes stuck in your psyche. So we have to take advantage of the fact that our mind is so programmable that we can really ingest whatever we want to and it become law in our life. Right? That we're that brainwashed. Anyway, so we're moving on to the next segment. If you look at the title, you see that the title says relationships. I might have this out of order, but relationships, bad relationship. No, bad. I'm sorry, my phone started ringing. This could distract me. Relationships, bad pickings. Lord, my tongue, versus picking badly. Okay, so listen. This might be a little controversial, but again, who cares? Not me. I don't like to become a part of the gender war, as people like to call it, even though it's been a gender war forever. It's not new. I don't like to speak too much on my thoughts about relationships. A lot of times, said this before, I'm not a relationship coach. I am a mindset coach, but in the midst of being a coach in general, especially a life coach in general, life encompasses relationships. And I also have my own experiences in dating, being out here, being single, not being single, all the things, right? And I have to speak to this. And again, these are always my opinions, okay? Opinions are not law. I do not hold my opinions in my nuts, is like I like to call them. I don't like to hold my opinions in my nuts. I don't like to hold on to any opinion as if it's law, right? As if it's a fact, as if it's never changing. My opinion may change one day. I don't think so about this one because it took years for me to formulate this opinion. But again, my opinions may change one day, and that's the beauty of life. I could change my opinion at any moment due to certain circumstances. And so, what if you hold an old opinion over my head? I changed my damn mind, right? So, I say all of that to say that if you come on here and you see something that you and I say something that you don't like, you do not have to continue to watch. If it's triggering you, you do not need to continue to watch. I do not need for you to react adversely. I don't need for you to react angrily because I said something that triggered you. Understand that when people trigger you, it is not really their fault unless they are doing it purposely, which 9 times 10 a lot of people are not. Okay. There are that 1% chance, that 10% chance, I should say, that people do, because I've had people that trigger me purposely. But most of the time, people are not triggering you purposely. So if I'm saying this and you more than likely are a stranger watching this, and I say something that really evokes a negative emotion in you, it's your job to unpack what that negative emotion is and why do you feel that way. That's it. That's all. All right. So again, I'm being long-winded with, especially with disclaimers, because I know that rather it be today, 3 years down the line, 10 years down the line, I'm not deleting none of my content unless YouTube just takes me out of here. Somebody's going to watch this years from now, months from now, maybe days from now, and decide that they don't like what I said, and they might try to nitpick me, pick me apart, say something negative about my character and who I am as a person without knowing me, because I'm going to say something that is not was kind of popular but not popular, right? Especially amongst men. And I went live on my Facebook not too long ago, had a little girl talk session with my followers because that was, and I have to say this here too. I love men, especially black men. Oh my God, I love y'all. Real talk, I do. I can't admit that I've always, because I went through my period where I was so hurt that I stopped feeling that way. But I'm back into love in general, like love for people, love for myself. I can't restrict that emotion because if I do, I'm restricting it from myself. I'm restricting from the people in my family. I'm restricting it from my child. I'm restricting it from the world, right? The things that I should love in order to connect to source and to attract things that I want to like. So I love men. I love black men, especially that they are my preference. However, because a lot of black men don't value themselves, I would say majority don't really value themselves. It makes it hard to value them. So I will wholeheartedly, with my chest open, admit that no, I don't really value black men. I love them and I know how valuable they really are at the core, but I can't value them through the action of what I've seen consistently throughout my life. The black men that I do value are totally different from the men in general. They're not the average black man. So I'm saying that to say that as a woman, a black woman, there's bad pickings for us. There is bad pickings for black women out here. Whereas, again, my opinion, my observation as a psychologist, as a sociologist, as a coach, what I see, men on the other hand, they just pick badly. So you got to understand there's a difference in being a woman and having bad pickings, meaning that I could pick a plethora of men and most of them will be bad. And not bad for me, bad in general. Like emotionally manipulative, physically abusive, emotionally abusive, cheaters, broke. Because, yes, there are financial abusers out here too that are men, especially. They're always going to be one of those things most of the time. I would say probably 70 to 80% of the time. And then you got the other guys who maybe they don't do any of that, but they're boring. They might not have no personality. Or maybe somewhere they're lacking. Whereas this is my experience as a woman, a Black woman, and my friends' experience, and people close to me or people around me who I talk to on a random basis. I don't know anything about them. And we are not as the same men. The same man is available. Oh, okay. Yeah. So if I'm having the same experience as Lucy and she lives in New York, I'm in Georgia, she lives in New York, right? We don't even have the same personality type, me and her. We barely even look at the same type of dudes. Yet her experiences are very similar, if not the same as mine. Is Lucy the problem? Am I the problem? Or is it that what we have to choose from is the problem? See, the things that women complain about are told about men are so different from what men complain about women. Women are literally saying, please stop cheating on me. Please stop emotionally manipulating me. Please stop abusing me. Please stop um taking out your hurt and your pain on me. Please. Please go to therapy. Please see yourself. Please hold yourself accountable. Please. Things men are complaining about. Oh, she does not submit. Things men complain about. Oh, I can't be myself. I can't be vulnerable. Really, everybody doing that to men. Oh, the thing that it's worlds between what we're complaining about, bro. Like it's worlds, and it's like, hell, why is my internet acting weird? Um, I don't know if I'm still on here. Cause one thing about the internet is it's called internet. So yeah, so I'm saying that to say that hang on, let me see real quick what's going on here, what it look like. Okay. Might be a little delayed here. But yeah, so I'll say all of that to say, I know a lot of people not gonna agree with what I'm saying, but if men are upset because women are deciding not to choose them anymore, it's time to reflect. It's time for introspection. And you don't even have to just look at yourself collectively. Because collectively, I will say this about women. Collectively, women literally give too much power to men. Collectively, women literally will cut off all relationships. Everybody will take a back seat over a new relationship to a lot of women. I can admit that. I'm even though this is something I did not do, I can admit that's a problem with women. Women will sell each other out for a man. Women have this hidden animosity against other women. And it's all due to conditioning. It's how the world has created us, a culture within us as women, a culture within men as men. This is like they say, like it seemed like we all read from this handbook of women and men, no matter what race, no matter what background. And I can admit that as a woman, we are so drawn to the aspect of a man coming in and saving us. And Disney, I have a video I made. Disney set us up for failure when it comes to that because we're thinking that, oh, I'm the princess, I'm the damsel in distress. a man must come in my life and change things for me. And this is what a lot of women feel like, oh, once I get married, once I get a man, I could do this. Once I get a man, I could do that. Men are not doing that. They're not waiting for a woman. They gonna live their life the way they want to, regardless of who's here. And that is what I implore for women to do. Live your life the way you want to, regardless of who is in it. Okay. So back to what I was saying as far as the bad pickings versus picking badly. So women have bad pickings, right? Overall, men are not raised to be husbands. They're raised to be men, whatever that looks like, right? Whatever we deem that to be. Meanwhile, women are conditioned early on that how a boy feels about us is very important. Very important. And men won't understand that this is really how we were brought up because they're men. They didn't have that same experience. But if we're willing and open and often always telling them, hey, it's unfair because I grew up, I got to cook, I got to clean, I got to do this, I got to be a certain way, or I won't get a man, or I got to do this to keep a man, or I got to do this to get male attention. I got to do, like, if that's all been indoctrinated, if that's all that's been implemented in our head, but men, on the other hand, would talk, stay away from girls. Girls, they only for one thing, and you can only do this with them. They not this, they not that way. Oh, don't value them. They'll do this to you. If they've been taught basically the opposite of what we've been taught, right? If a man has been taught to value male opinion in himself over getting a mate, over a woman, if he's been taught not to value women, and then a woman is taught to value men, no wonder it's a struggle. It's I love you, I'm the woman, and I want to be with you, and I want to make things work, and I want to show you that I'm worthy. Again, this is the woman's thought process. And then you got the man on the other hand that's like, I don't know, I've been hearing that women are evil, or women are this, the subliminal stuff. Women are I gotta have this for a woman to like me, and all it, like, whatever. I gotta be this way for a woman to like me. Whatever the thought process is that men have, because again, I'm not a man. I can sit up here and say what I think. Um, but I won't be 100% sure. But I know that there's some ideology in the male mind that is against women, whereas the ideology in women's mind is to be for men. So yeah, they running and we chasing, which is not even natural order. I'm not gonna get into that because I got into that one of my last videos talking about natural order, but it's not natural order for us to be chasing them. But that is how we have been conditioned. So we got these issues going, and then we got men out here and their complaints that we're not available enough to them anymore. That's really what these men are complaining about lately. Passport bros, the red pill niggas, all they complain about is that women are not as accessible to them anymore. That's really the main complaint. Women are not accessible. They're not willing to be. They're not open. They're not willing to be. They're not submissive. They're not willing to be. All of that. That's all they're complaining about. Whereas we're telling men, hey, I want you to be more emotionally available. I want you to know that you don't have to have money. We're saying that because we make our own money these days. Y'all still over here, she a gold digger. Gold digging what gold, though? You got to have gold to dig. And it's this mindset of, I don't want to do the work on men part. I don't want to become the better person for her. I'd rather go get something easy that accepts me right now at my lowest period. Why would you want anybody to accept you being low? Why would you want them to be complicit with that? Anywho, so just to wrap this up a little bit though, going to the men. So men are literally just picking badly. They don't have bad pickings. It's I'm not saying there's not bad pickings out here for men. I'm just saying that majority of the women that men run into, they might not be good for them, right? But the woman is gonna be good to them. I say at least 67% of the time. That men, these estimations, these are opinion based. So men are out here all the time dating women, a woman after, like, the fastest thing I ain't never seen a man get out of a relationship, run into another relationship as fast as I've seen a black man do it. It's people who I know right now literally just ended long-term relationships, and 2 months later a man done hop into another one. I don't see women do that as often as I do men. Men have a hard time staying alone, right? So with that ideology back in place, right? Men can literally choose any woman and get the basics. Whereas women, we have to fight even for the bare minimum. We have to fight even for the bare minimum, bro. Men can pick any woman right now and get the basics, meaning that she gonna suck it, she gonna fuck, she might cook a little something. You know what I'm saying? She's going to be there whenever he needs something. That's it. Those are the basics for men. That's all they want. It's easy to cover those bases for them. We can't even get somebody to be there for us. Like, at the very minimum. Know how hard it is. You ask any woman out here, black woman, if she going through something real difficult right now, how likely is it that she feel like she can depend on the man that she's dealing with to help her? It's very unlikely. Whereas a man can literally meet a woman today and tomorrow, depending on the woman, ask to borrow her money and she give it to him. Seen it happen. That don't work for us unless we out here doing sex work. It don't work for us like that. It just doesn't. And men are picking badly because they have so many good pickings. So when you have so many women that's literally able to do the bare minimum of what you require, that means you got to go a little bit deeper into what you want from a person so that you won't be settling on anything that's just easy and available. Because see, it's easy and available for them. So they don't go a little deeper and be like, okay, well, she do the basics. So what else is it that I need? Right? I can't tell you how many times I am the woman. Let me not even say person. I'm the woman to get in a relationship with a man and immediately ask him what he needs from me as his woman. I cannot tell you how many times I've asked this question and not received a direct response because men do not know what they want. And then when they get women who, again, meet the basic needs, it's easy for them to settle on somebody that they don't like, but they like everything that person does. They might not like the person. They love the person, but they might not like the person because they love everything the person does for them. So this might be a little all over the place, but the general gist of it is that men literally, they have good pickings. And I can say this very full heartedly as someone who has dated women previously before. I didn't have to worry about the same things dating women that I worry about dating men. I didn't have to worry about the same things. And you got to realize that you got to listen to bisexual people when they say things like that. Right? You got to listen to people who say, like, if I'm talking to a bisexual, I wish I had a bisexual male right here next to me because I'm pretty sure that he would be able to attest to some of the things that I'm saying. It's a different experience when you're dating a man. You don't have the same luxuries as you do dating a woman. I didn't have to worry about if I'm dealing with a woman, if she was going to be put her hands on me. I mean, I know women get in domestic violence relationship and lesbian relationships all the time, but I didn't worry about that. That wasn't something that was in the forefront of my mind. I didn't worry about um it was a different type of emotional manipulation to look out for if I'm dating a man versus a woman. It's a different type. It's just different. It's so different. I was able to attract some quality women who were cool, laid back. I did attract some quite crazy women. So I see what men be saying, what they experience a lot of the time when it comes to women. So I would, like I said, I don't want to make it seem as though that men have all the good pickings. No, they just have more good pickings than we do. I do know there are crazy women out here. I do know that there are women who are very emotionally manipulative. I do know that there are women out here who are very insecure, wildly insecure, who will accuse you for doing anything at any moment for any reason. I know what's out here in general. And I'm here to tell you still, your pickings are better than my pickings. So I say all that to say that as a man, don't take offense to what women are saying when they say that most men out here are terrible, unless you are the most men. Because if you're not the most men, then why are you defending behavior that you know is out here? Behavior that you know you would warn your sister, you would warn your daughter, you would warn your niece about. Behavior that you know, that you have seen, that maybe you have committed. Stop trying to get us on your side when you know. Do you know what's out here? You should understand and you should want to practice compassion. You should want to be like, you know what? She's not talking about me. I'm not that type of man that she's talking about, but I do know somebody that's like that. I do know somebody's with an S that's like that. So let me not get by what she's saying because she said man or black man. That don't mean she's talking about me. Let me offer her some support and tell her I am sorry she had that experience. Don't y'all understand how important it is for the healing journey? When I see men talk about women, most of the time I'm not listening to it because again, the things that men complain about women, it holds no merit to what we complain about. Like, oh my God, y'all are not even complaining about real things, bro. You complain about how my hair look. You complain I wear nails. You complain I got wig on. You complain I get surgery. You complain I got makeup on. You're complaining because I don't want to submit to you. I like when you say that shit out loud, it's so trivial, so stupid, means nothing, right? This is what they complain about. Versus what we complain about. Rape and emotional manipulation and like the things that men should be complaining about, women they don't. Complain that a lot of times women do start domestic violence disputes. That's what y'all should be out here advocating for yourselves from. Advocate for family court fairness. Advocate for male rape that y'all tend to act like don't exist amongst y'all. Cause see, women will tell you, baby, you were raped 12. You was fucking a 21-year-old. You were raped. Oh yeah, ha 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 ha. No, it ain't rape. I don't feel like well, ha 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 ha. Y'all make a joke out of the things that y'all really should be advocating for yourselves. It's a joke to y'all. So no wonder the world looks at you as a joke. No wonder women cannot take you serious. Start advocating for real shit, not weaves and purses and feel good. Y'all want to go against everything that makes us good that does not directly affect you. It's weird. Ain't nobody out here podcasts. Women are not out here on podcasts talking all day about how y'all be on a video game for 8 hours of a day. Nobody talks about that. Like they're not podcasts dedicated to the weird shit that y'all do for leisure and entertainment. Because we don't care. The thing is, We have to stop being in competition with each other, especially men. I feel like men are these days are much more competition with women than they need to be. Well, y'all can do this. There's always what we can do that y'all can't do. And it's like it's giving jealous. Anywho, I'm wrapping this up. I think I said a lot. I started off talking about, the journey, the life journey, and now I ended it talking about relationships and men and women and how we pick. Understand this, y'all. I'm not a mistake that I am a truth bringer. I hold people accountable. I don't care what that feels like to you, but I know what it looks like. And holding people accountable means, hey, you need to make sure you acknowledge that. You need to make sure you accept it, and you need to make sure you can move and change, show you yourself to you. It don't feel good because you see things that you don't like. You see things that you try to hide from yourself and others. I'm not gonna let you hide. So if you're a woman watching this, understand I love you. Consent that I make, things that I do, is for women, Black women primarily. If you're a man watching this, understand that I love you. This content was not created solely for you, but hopefully you learned something from it. Hopefully it did not trigger a part in you that makes you want to hate me because it was too raw. I hope that you were able to look at yourself and take note of what you allowed around you or what you did to other people. Anyway, it's Jay Lovelii here with Lovely Thoughts, and I'm signing out. I'll see y'all. I don't know when, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe next week. I don't know. But whenever, make sure you subscribe if you're watching this and you're not subscribed. Hit that bell, ring that bell, baby. Okay. And also you can